Hello, I'm Sonia Wood here at Oikos. Today I'm going to be telling you all about basic bookkeeping. You might ask the question, do I need it? Well, I could answer that very simply for you right now and say yes, you do. However, I'm going to read to you what it says in the book about who needs this book. Okay, and the reason why I'm so absolute about yes, you need it is I don't think there's a person that isn't going to value from this. Okay, but there is a section here that says who should be reading this book. Basic bookkeeping will be particularly helpful to the following: persons responsible for record keeping in small business or small businesses. So you might say, well, my children aren't needing to keep a record of their small business, but maybe they will one day, or even their own personal household budget. 2, persons who are involved in a support role, such as the wife of a proprietor or owner of a small business, the secretary, the telephonist, or the accounts receivable clerk. Next, accounting and bookkeeping students, wherever they may be, schools, technicons, universities, accounting departments, and large corporations, and anyone else keen to learn bookkeeping skills. Owners of small businesses and banking customers. So that is who the book is supposed to be for. So then why do we have it here in Oikos? It's not necessarily for home educating students. In fact, it wasn't written with home educating students in mind. Let me tell you how this book came about. The author of this book is an accountant. And we met him here in South Africa. And he found that his clerks that were coming into their accounting firm didn't actually understand what he needed them to understand. They didn't seem to have a full understanding of what was required of them, according to him. So he wrote this book for them as like a bridging course from actually having exited university college and now coming into an accounting firm. He put them through this course. He wrote this course for those people. So you can ascertain from that is actually for students a lot older than your home educating children in their young adult years. However, let me share with you what the overall objective is of this book. Is to provide the owner of a small or medium-sized business and his employees with practical knowledge and basic bookkeeping skills in order to avoid having to employ a qualified person to perform these elementary tasks. The accountant or qualified bookkeeper should therefore be involved in the preparation of the income statement and balance sheet, thus providing a substantial saving. Let me show you the contents. Introduction, cash book, petty cash book, purchases journal, sales, stock module, month 2 continuing the process, and the role of the accountant. The very, very first words in the book for you is the following: do not be intimidated if you do not understand all the terms in this chapter. This book has been written in order to explain in simple terms what each of these complicated bookkeeping terms mean. So it just needs to be understood that the accountant who wrote this wrote it as simply as he could. However, he is an accountant, so he is doing his best to prepare students to be able to fulfill the function of an accountant. What he did is he used an example of a small business. I think it's called Jack's Panel Beaters. And it takes you on a couple of months' journey through as though the journey of actually owning Jack's Panel Beaters, as though you are owning it and you're buying paint and tools and whatever it is you need to run your business. And then it's teaching how to fill in the cash book and the petty cash book and the purchases journal and how to bring it all together at the end of the month. So he has done his best to present it to us in that format to make it possible for a student, once they have finished this, to have understanding, as I have read, of bookkeeping terms and how to actually apply them. You'll see here as well that it says 6th edition, and that is because it's had review after review after review, because we have heard from parents that it's not an easy book to follow, and I think you can understand why now, because I have read to you what its objective is and who it was actually aimed at. And the only reason why we have it here in Oikos is because we met the author and we found that he had put together a bookkeeping course that was actually going to give the foundation and the necessary skills for anybody, regardless whether they're running a small business or not, because I believe that a student entering into adult life, a young person, a young adult entering into adult life that has had this foundation is equipped to be able to manage their finances better. That's my view on it. I have to also say that when we sat and did this with our daughter, she just loved it. She understood it, she got it, it just flew. And then we sat with our son, and he's the maths person, maths brain, and he didn't just get it, and it wasn't just, he didn't just fly through it, and he found it to be more of a struggle than her, which was a surprise to us. And in fact, I wasn't able to get him along the course as I had with ease with our daughter. So it's not just about the program being difficult. Sometimes it's actually whether the student has that natural aptitude or not. So what we did is we got our friendly accountant. We said, please, can you come and help us out here? You, the accountant, you understand all this terminology, and could you sit with our son and help him? There seems to be a few roadblocks along the way here. And he did so. So in the end of the day, our son now has understanding about bookkeeping terms and the importance of them. And had we just given up, he wouldn't have that. So he has a skill that we've been able to impart to him through this course. Sorry, I didn't show you the answer book. Here is the workbook where the student is actually working through this together with the parent or another, somebody with bookkeeping skills, a friendly accountant, as I've mentioned. If you yourself are struggling with understanding how it's all works, because maybe you didn't do bookkeeping, maybe you don't as a parent have the understanding of this, well, you're going to learn alongside your student in that instance. And you've got the answer book here, which is actually giving you the answers to all of these various, how to fill out this petty cash. And there it shows you. In the book is the example of Jack's panel beaters, or I think it's Jack's panel. And then here's a cash book. Oh, it does Jack's because it says Jack's panel beaters here. And here's the cash book. And it shows you how it is supposed to be filled out according to what is requested here in the actual workbook. So you don't have to worry too much. All the answers are here for you. You might need to call on extra help like I did. But at the end of the day, people ask us, do we need to have it? And as I said right at the beginning, the answer is yes, because who wouldn't need those skills? Who would it not help? I believe it would help everyone. But please bear in mind, it is not for the junior student. It's not for that student just entering into high school years and now you're going to present them with this bookkeeping course. You have heard that it is for the more mature, the older student, and so I would leave this to the very, very end. I introduced this to our daughter when she was 16, actually, because she was asking for it then, and I thought, well, we'll give it a go. We'll see if she's ready for it, and she was. And we went very slowly. It took us a couple of years to go through it. If you want to know how long it takes, it can take 6 months and it can take 2 years. We went slowly because we started her young. We started our son at the similar age, and it wasn't the right time. We waited till he was 17 and we carried on, and then we stopped again, and then we carried on when he was 18. And so it's really dependent on each individual student. But yes, it is most definitely worthwhile having. Please don't be put off if you find it difficult. It's a learning process for both of you if you are finding it difficult, and you can always call for help. So I'm not going to pretend that it is written for the parent and for you as a home educator to help you along, because all the other Oikos resources that we have at Oikos has the parent in mind. There's the parent book, and it's telling you day by day by day, presuming that you really need this help, and this is the instruction on how to go about teaching this particular subject, with whatever it is, math, science, language. But in this instance, that's not the case. It's the one resource that we have where that is not the case. However, it's valuable enough to actually have it in our list of resources, and so we hope that you will find it valuable. So I do hope that you will be enriched by the bookkeeping skills that are taught and learned through this resource. Thank you for watching. Bye.